Welcome, True to Blueprint. I'm Dawn Marie Sargent, and I'm back again. Played the Islanders last night. That was an interesting adventure, wasn't it? The fact is, we gutsed that game out. We had people in that shouldn't have been in, maybe necessarily. To me, you're killing penalties without Roman Polak and without Komarov. You're basically killing penalties for the very first time. And, yeah, it's inevitable that things like that will happen. But, you know, it's not to prove it to you. And Babcock's trying to prove it to himself. All right, onward and upward on a Saturday afternoon. Let's see. The playoffs, we clinched now. And I see a lot of people celebrating. That's wonderful. But what I'm worried about is I see a lot of people saying we won't get as far as we did last year. And it's funny to me because last year we played a team that had won the most points in the whole league. Last year we played a team, and Washington is that team again this year, who wants to win more than life itself. So they're going to have that extra thing. Now let's talk about our extra thing. Last year the playoffs was a adventure, like when you go off to this really exciting vacation with your parents and you go, I had the time of my life, and your parents are, you were never better, and you could only hope to disappoint after that. I'm sure that's what people are feeling. But this team is far better and playing good hockey. As Babcock likes to say, they play the right way. And the right way is only one way when you're the coach, his way. And his way just happens to be my way, and we'll get back to that in a minute. The negativity that's coming toward the playoffs isn't really something I didn't expect. But I'm going to tell you right now, the way I see it, if we compete at our compete level, we will get to the conference final, at which point Cindy will introduce us to vacation, because he knows things that we can't even dream of knowing. But the only way we're going to learn them is by going into the playoffs. But the negativity I hear from the fans otherwise, that's what I'm worried about. And I would worry the way people post online, if you say that the Maple Leafs aren't the best hockey team on earth, go to hell. I wish your mother started on fire. I'm telling you, people get really mad. Don't want to hear a thing. When someone says something about Mitch Marner, it's like 8,000 people freak out, I think. I think we all had the dream where Doug Gilmour told us we had to protect Mitch Marner. And when you have that dream, you know Doug Gilmour will come and get you if you don't do it. So we have to protect Mitch Marner. He's got that had to be. He's got that I am a Maple Leaf, like I was born, and his mother was told, here is a beautiful Maple Leaf who will monopolize the puck and always be underrated by people who think points are more important than hockey. And then he was too small to play these things, when somebody overcomes that, well, I won't tell you what I'm waiting for. That'll come up another time. So when people do it, I think I've had to figure it out, because I can't get involved in these I love Mitch so much and you just don't get it arguments. And last night I read where a fan said, when is Babcock going to realize that Curtis is a better goalie than Freddie? Okay, I'll give you a second to fall on the floor and get yourself back up. Okay, it's not that he's not as good a goalie. That's not the point. It's that goaltending isn't just the wild flopping around and keeping the puck from going in that Curtis does. And he's limited in the modern goaltender way that Freddie has it down. He can play the puck. All of his equipment plays more than the role of fighting off the puck. He controls play. He knows when to do that stuff. And I'm not saying Curtis doesn't, but it doesn't look like it from the outside. And that's going to make your team have to do things they wouldn't ordinarily have to do. That's all goaltending is knowing what you have in goal. And even if you know you're going to give up a lot of goals, you know that, okay? Then you have to be more tactical on letting people in the zone and stuff. But Freddie's wonderful. So I thought, why is this guy saying this? Why is he bringing this up at this time? And then it occurred to me, if everything went the way it used to go and the roof caves in, this guy wants to be the one who knew. In case it turns out to be Freddie that causes us to fall apart, he wants to be the one who knew. And that asserts right away that we're going to have the roof cave in. But there's theory after theory about this, and I really don't blame people. I think that if people don't say negative things, the people don't understand hockey as well. It brings people in. I know I've been able to really explore my own point of view and the way to put it to people by talking to people who said bizarre and ridiculous things online. So keep saying those things. I mean, I do fear that we won't feel involved. If no one says crazy stuff online, we will have nothing to talk about. If everything's just go Leafs go, go Leafs go, go Leafs go. I mean, I love it. And the more of us that say it, wonderful. But when it's the only thing left to be talking about, I won't feel as involved with my hockey team. Defending them gives me that right. And maybe a winning fan base knows that it takes a certain amount of people who never believe it's going to work. Okay? Now, that's just what I'm saying. Now, let's see. I can talk to you about a lot of things here because my life was in a mess several times. But what I know about hockey has always saved me. I understand hockey to be just about the most honest reflection of life that we have in our entertainment and things like that aren't, and even things that conscientiously try to imitate life don't do a very good job. To me, hockey has rules and laws. You have to be honest. There's not time for bullshit. And if you have bullshit, you're going to get a bad reputation. And that reputation is going to continue after you're done with the bullshit. So what's the point? That's life. And I guess I'm having trouble getting people to write many questions. I've had a couple, and God love you guys for doing that. But I need for you to understand that for me, the blueprint, the reason it's true to blueprint, the reason it's not another hockey vlog by someone who really likes to talk a lot, is because I'm doing this because I feel like the blueprint called me, like I'm paying it back. I'm paying Babcock Hockey back for taking away the way that I used to live my life, having excuses. And he said one time, well, you don't play the blame game, not if you want to be in control of your life. And I thought, whoa, if it was in a superhero thing and it'd be bashed up against the wall and their brain would fly out. I mean, seriously, it was that profound when I heard that. All of a sudden, the universe wasn't out to get me. I was. And it wasn't that things didn't happen to me. Meteors from space, I call them. But I didn't adapt to those. And I even used excuses like, well, it's their fault. I cannot deal with this. Okay, how is it their fault? How did they make me do this? I don't understand the mechanism. And so if you're in your life wondering why the blueprint is having this powerful effect on people who are smart like me and don't go along with anything ever, it's because I'm seeing the answers to a lot of struggles in life in this. I'm thinking to myself, if people don't blame other people for their problems, if they don't look out the window and say, you all did this to me, then they don't shoot all those people. I'm just throwing it out there, okay? That's my thought. Because no matter how many times we all get together and go, bad guns, guns, bad, it still keeps happening. And you take the guns away, it's going to still happen in other ways. People cook up poisons. Their ammonia and bleach, come on, seriously, it's a binary chemical weapon living in everybody's cupboard. People will not stop blaming other people and trying to make them pay. Making people pay stops at the moment you decide not to drop your gloves. That's the way I look at it. The metaphorical dropping of your gloves and saying, nope, not this time. We're going to settle this here and now. No, in polite society, we don't start punching each other. Because we're not on skates. When you're on skates, you can't plant your back foot. Okay, so really getting hurt is kind of like accidental on skates. So it's kind of fun to have a hockey fight. Just like it's fun sometimes when you go after your friends and you just go, that's it, I'm punching you. But they know what's happening. And so stop looking at that as violence. That's not violence. That's people taking control of the moment. And I'm just saying, those things that I talk about, ask me any question. I mean, really, because Ted Lindsay told me, Ted Lindsay, the Bob Dylan of hockey, told me, once you understand the game, your life will be easy. And he used to come up to me when I was like crying over Led Zeppelin, and he's the only one like at Olympia who knew, at least who knew, I knew. And he'd find me in the parking lot crying. He's like, I thought you knew the game. And I think, what's wrong with him? What is he talking about? I'm crying because my boyfriend. I'm crying because rock band. I'm crying because I don't know why I'm crying. It seems like this is the right part in the script to cry. And then he said, I thought you knew the game. One day it hit me. Everything I needed to know to make a good life was always in hockey. And Ted was absolutely right. Okay, tonight we play the Jets, okay? The only thing I really love about the Jets is that it's the only Jets that has a Sharks. Okay, so in hockey there's a Sharks and a Jets, and that's like West Side Story, and I'm a real sucker for that crap. But otherwise the Jets don't mean that much to me, and I know Don Cherry picked them, and this one says this, and this one says that. You know what? We've got to win this game. If we don't win tough games, then we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage. We have to make every game, even the game against Buffalo. In fact, it got incredibly difficult just based on recent events. But our team needs to treat everything now like the playoffs, because the other teams are going to be ready for the big games. And we're not. We're going to be like, oh, nothing to lose, nothing to gain. You know what? We didn't keep our home streak going, but there's no reason not to add to how many home wins, and that still is a record. Okay, I wait for your questions. I don't wait. I'm still going to do another show. I'm just saying I wait to answer questions until I get them. I don't know why now, but anyway. And I'm going to close with a quote. This quote really hit me, and I want you to think about this one. Some of these are just going to be her quote, but this is good. It is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. Okay? I mean, it's difficult to free fools from the chains they revere, they love, they cherish. Think about how many times that's happened to you in your life. And think about what in hockey has taught you that's probably not going to work. Okay, True to Blueprint, we'll be back. I hope you watched your Steve Dangle and your Alyssa Hope. And I will be back, I promise.